Hey, want to welcome everybody to another episode today with Veterans in Business podcast. Today, we are trying to sit down with more of our members, whether they be veterans or patriots. Today, we have the pleasure of sitting down with Baylor Barbie. He's truly a good friend of mine, known him for years. What we want to do, Baylor, is just get a little bit more. I know you grew up in Abilene, so I know your story, but I want you to share it more with some of our people, just to tell us a little bit more about who Baylor Barbie is, because people hear me talk about you a lot. They don't know, but I think this will give them an opportunity to get a little bit more exposure.
Well, thanks for having me. My name is Baylor Barbie. So grew up in Abilene, went to Baylor to play football at Baylor. And so people always thought, Baylor from Baylor? The amount of times I've heard that. And this is what's your last name? And I tell them Barbie, then nobody believed it. So you can imagine having Barbie on the back of your jersey at some of these opposing stadiums and the heckling that happens. So, grew up playing there. And then the thing about playing football is they make you feel like you only matter when you're in the arena. And then one day it's over and you're no longer Baylor from Baylor, Baylor the athlete, Baylor that went to Baylor. And that's kind of the start of the decline in the ascent.
Well, and I know we've talked about it in the past where, the calling that you had was to be able to be a proof source or a guide for other people who may follow behind, in the same, come from the same sports background or team environment, where as they transition through life, things are going to change. And you've been able to have some very impactful presentations, be able to bond and connect.
When I got out, I thought I was the only one struggling. But you see a lot of military and you feel we're taught, be a man, keep it inside, be tough. And you realize that how bad of advice that is. I had a teammate commit suicide. I had an uncle who was military commit suicide. And I remember thinking, I was like, I don't want people to feel that way. I don't want to hurt like that. I don't want people to hurt like that. So I just started. It's like, hey, we got to start talking about, I call it no more silence. We have to start talking about the fact that we don't have it together. The fact that a lot of us are confused. A lot of us are lost. And it wasn't like I had any answers. I just said, look, if we can maybe start the discussion on it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to say, look, I'm struggling. It's okay to ask for help. And it started turning to, could you come share that message with our middle school, with our high school, with our team, with our this, and just little by little, you start realizing no matter what socioeconomic status, race, whatever it is, we're all trying to figure out either who we are or what we're doing next. And so the crux of the message is to realize that we all have darker days, but you can always make it to tomorrow.
And that's so true. I know we do share that in our background, and I think that's a commonality that's kind of drawn us together, because we both think about that. We came from an environment where we were surrounded with those experiences, and so it's kind of helped us be able to bond, because I agree with you. I think people need to talk and not bottle it up and keep it inside. There's nothing wrong with talking about experiences, especially if something that is not feeling right. You may not know what you're feeling, but I think you do a great job expressing that message and sharing it, and people open up to you, whether we're at a conference where we're talking, or whether we're on the golf course, because we've had some really great opportunities to bring golf into our lives, and that's awesome as well that we get to do that.
I agree, and I think it's more, and that's what I love about being around you and getting to just really talk life, right? Realizing that the metaphors are so many things. Golf teaches you a lot about who you are inside, and I think who you are inside impacts what you do for a living, what you do for a career, and how other people relate to you. And one of the things I've learned from you is, hey, like, you've never met a stranger. Like, everybody you meet, it's like you become friends, and that's, good for me to see. And I see you helping people at their lowest, people at their highest. And, I like to surround myself with, my messages, and I don't have some crazy story. I just find what works and share that message. And so, I see how you treat people and say, look, that's how I want to be. And I try to share that message.
Yep. And I think that's what we share, is the fact that we do think a lot alike that, and we're active in the pursuit of that. I'm not trying to impress people or do things. I just try to help people, because I always say, if you help enough people, you'll be fine. And that's just the way I take life at. I know we do have an opportunity to plug golf because we're going to be playing in the North Texas Warriors Golf Association's annual fundraiser coming up on the 22nd of September. It's a big event. Their organization, the one that I'm a member of, really uses golf to help combat suicide things, and they've been very successful in their model for that program. But I think it's because there are a lot of people just like us who want to help people, want to take care of people, and he gives back. So that's a great opportunity. If you get an opportunity to support that, it's a great cause. But tell me a little bit, what does Baylor Barbie have on the horizon? I know you just had a book come out recently, but what's next for Baylor Barbie?
So I've been speaking now for 17 years. And so in the next 6 months or so, I'm launching what I call the Mile 19 method. Now, the Mile 19 in a marathon is where you hit the wall. Out of the 26, and all of us in our lives, our careers hit a wall, right? And so this whole has taken 17 years of research and speaking and everything that I've done, putting together to create a framework to help people, find confidence in themselves, find purpose in what they're trying to do, and hopefully a mindset to be able to accomplish what it is they want. So wrapping that up, and that'll be in the next 6 months. That's literally you're the first person I've told this to. So
excellent. And I really I appreciate you sharing it with us here, because we'll get that message out. We'll be excited. We're looking for it. I always look forward to what's next in Baylor's life because it always has such a strong impact coming up here in the near future. So with that, we're going to just go ahead and wrap things up today. I appreciate you coming in, spending a little bit of time with us, and sharing more about who Baylor Barbie is and what he does in the world.
I appreciate it.
All right.